Hello everybody, my name is Casper T. and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Would love to have you a part of my subscribers list. Now, my friend Mark Stise did a video on his channel, and his channel's name is Chatting with Mark Stise. And in that video, he was asking for my thoughts on a couple of things. So that video that Mark Stise did is playing behind me here, as you can tell. So if you'd like to see that video, I'm going to leave a link in the description part of this video. Click on it. It'll take you straight to Chatting to Mark Stise's channel, and then you can watch it from there. Hey Mark, big thanks to you for doing that video on your channel, and I just want to say, thanks, and I really appreciate it. So this is my response video to that video. So like you said, the Patterson film came out in 1968, and I remember that film very well. I mean, that's a very well-known footage. It's everywhere, and it's on every documentary regarding Bigfoot that I've ever seen. They show it often. I've even seen it a couple of times on your channel. So very well-known footage. But I had to do some research because I haven't really done much research on Bigfoot. But yet it has fascinated me. Nevertheless, there were things like the Bermuda Triangle, for an example, the Loch Ness Monster, UFOs. Those were things that I was interested in when I was younger, and it's always something that I found interesting. I always love a mystery. So after doing some research, after I watched your video and knew that you were waiting for a response from me, I went in deep and I started doing some research myself. And regarding the Patterson film, there was a guy, I don't know when he came out with this information, but his name is Bob Hieronymus. And so he basically said that he actually was paid to wear the Bigfoot suit, and they filmed him walking in the Patterson film, and actually in other videos as well that I guess were also aired on TV. I'm going to leave a link down below to that video that I found, and feel free to go ahead and click on it and watch it. I found it quite interesting. He even took a lie detector test and he passed. So was it him in a suit? I don't know. That footage looked so real to me that I was very convinced that that was Bigfoot, for a very long time, until now. I've watched that video again after he says he was in that suit. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know, right? Now, I believe in Bigfoot. I really do. There's too much evidence to deny that Bigfoot does exist. They have found footprints. They have made casts of those footprints. They found hair. They've gotten DNA from that hair, as far as I know. So I believe that Bigfoot does exist. There's no doubt about that. I went to a place called Alexo. Now, they have a camp there. It's called Camp Alexo, and they have had Bigfoot sightings there way back from the 1980s, right up until the most recent that I could find was 1993. So I decided to go there, and I'm going to tell you a story about Camp Alexo. All right, they do offer Bigfoot camping there, so that basically you can camp on their grounds, and they take you for a hike and all that kind of stuff. They show you some footprints and all that kind of stuff. Now, I did contact them, and I asked them, how do I get involved in doing this camping with them, and also how much does it cost, and how do I book it, and that kind of stuff. They had told me the information on how to go about doing that. I was going to book the campsite with them. It was going to be, I believe it was a 2-day thing with them. It sounded like an amazing time. I then asked permission if I could film while I'm there, because I have a YouTube channel, and then all of a sudden they were not willing to work with me. They then basically told me not to come anymore, and then they just stopped talking to me, which I found very rude. And I kept telling them that I don't have professional gear. I'm just gonna show up with just my cell phone, if that's okay with them, and I'll film with my cell phone as we're walking around there, as they're showing us the footprints, that kind of stuff. They did not seem interested in having me there anymore. So it's a shame, but I ended up going there myself anyways. And when I was there, I noticed there were some, branches that were bent, cracked, in an angle. They were about maybe 15 feet high. Unusual when there were other trees around that branch that didn't break in that way. They seemed all intact. I mean, I went there, I was banging on trees, and I didn't hear anything. I even discovered a footprint when I was there walking around. Now, I'm going to say a lot of that area is private property, so you can't really go and explore too far. There is a campground there, but Camp Alexo is private property. The only way in is, I guess, if you, speak with them and they let you in, basically. But there is a campground there, and I was able to walk around. While I was there, though, walking around, I did bump into a fish and wildlife officer who told me it's best not to be there if I don't have bear spray, which I didn't. I didn't even think about bears, and I went there wandering around, in the forest there, with no protection at all. And coming to think of it, that was kind of, a bad idea. I'm gonna be going back there again this summer, and maybe I'm gonna camp down on the hill where I found everyone else camping, and so I don't have to deal with Camp Alexo, and then go down to the Saskatchewan River, because as far as I know, that is where the last sighting of the Bigfoot happened. I'm going to leave links down below to the information that I'm talking about here, so please check them out. And so, Mark, you had mentioned that you go to a lot of Facebook groups and you read a lot of the stuff that everyone in there writes, and some of the stuff I'm sure is true, but then some of the stuff is laughable. Like you had mentioned that someone wrote that they fell over in a canoe and Bigfoot came to help, drag them out, brought them a pot of beans, and, grabbed their cell phone. I don't know. You have to be open-minded, I guess, but some things in that story shot red flag to me. For an example, like a pot, like where would Bigfoot get a pot from? Why would Bigfoot grab a cell phone? I don't understand that. And why would Bigfoot rescue you? If that was the case, Bigfoot would be saving more people than just one person out of the blue, So, I find that a bit funny, and to me it's a red flag. You also said that you posted one of your videos on one of the Bigfoot Facebook pages, asking everybody what is more important, proving that they exist or keeping the myth alive. And you said everybody said to keep the myth alive. Now, I think I understand why, because we have to really think about this from outside of the box, okay? Now, everybody has seen the movie E.T., I'm sure. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you go see it. It's a really old movie. I'm not sure exactly when it came out, but I actually did see it the other day. They had like an open drive-in kind of thing here. They were showing it on a big screen out in the open here. I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. So Jen and I went to go see that movie, and so I mean, for those of you who have seen the movie, like what happened when everybody knew that E.T. was there? Everybody wanted to try and catch ET. They blocked off the entire area. They didn't let anyone near ET. They obviously wanted to do to capture it and maybe do some testing on ET. I don't know, but if we actually did find a Bigfoot, I mean, can you just imagine what we would do to it? Scientists and whoever else wants to, take a look at Bigfoot. I mean, we're gonna keep it in a cage. We're gonna probably kill it. Maybe operate on it. I don't know. Like, what are we gonna do to it? So maybe it's best that Bigfoot stays a myth. Because I wouldn't want that to happen to Bigfoot. I wouldn't want to see Bigfoot in a cage, and now people have to go pay money to go see it in a zoo or something like that, right? I wouldn't want that, right? So it's a scary thought, I mean, I want to know, is it real or not? There's a gentleman by the name of Todd Standings. He did a Netflix episode called Finding Bigfoot. I don't know if you've heard about this, Mark, but I have seen it, and he has by far the best footage I have ever seen in regards to Bigfoot. I highly recommend that you go check it out, Mark, if you haven't seen it. Todd Standing is his name, and the episode is called Finding Bigfoot. Check it out on Netflix. Now, you had mentioned that some people have said that Bigfoot is telepathic. I have a hard time believing that. After watching Todd Standing's Netflix series of Finding Bigfoot, I know that they love to bang on trees, they love to scream, and also you will hear in the video that they actually have some kind of a mumble when they talk. So if they could talk to each other telepathically, then they wouldn't do that as far as I'm concerned. You also did an amazing video, Mark, on the disappearance of Dennis Martin. Now, if everyone has never heard of this story, please go and check it out on Mark Stise's channel. I'll leave a link down below to the video that Mark Stise did on the disappearance of Dennis Martin. So, Dennis Martin disappeared on June the 14th, 1969, and one of the thoughts behind of what happened to Dennis is that a Bigfoot might have taken him. Now, if you watch Mark Stise's video, he does a fantastic job on explaining the story, but Dennis's dad had a clear sight to where his son was playing hide and go seek. His son went behind some bushes to hide from his friends that were going to play hide and go seek. His dad had a clear view of where his son had chosen for a hiding spot. After all the kids were found, Dennis didn't appear out of anywhere, and he was nowhere to be seen. They called his name. They could not find Dennis at all, and they spent, the entire day looking for him, and authorities had to come in and do a complete search, as well as the Green Berets were there, and they searched for an entire week for Dennis, and they could not find him. So here are all the questions that I have in regards to that story. Did they find any Bigfoot prints in the area that Dennis was hiding? Now, I know that it rained very hard 2 hours after Dennis went missing, but they did have 2 hours to explore the area to see prints, I'm sure. Did they find any? So one of the things that I'm also wondering about is, if Dennis's dad had a very clear view of where Dennis was hiding, why didn't he see a 7 to 9 foot Bigfoot run up to Dennis and take him away? I mean, that's something that could have been easily seen if that was the case. So that's a question that I have. Mark, you also mentioned that some people have said that every time when they go away, they come back and they find their place has been ransacked by, Bigfoot. And then, you ask them if, did they get a picture? And they say no. Did you get a video? And they say no. In today's world, everybody has a camera, a cell phone, everybody's got security cameras outside the house. There's video cameras everywhere. So to me, if it was happening to me, I would find a way to get a camera in my house for sure. But then again, do you really want to do that? Because everyone's going to be at your house, wanting to take pictures, and they're probably going to lock down the whole entire area like they did in E.T. and let nobody in and out. And who knows, they might get a whole bunch of people there wanting to kill it, so it might not be a good idea. But if it was sent in maybe anonymously, then sure, why not? Why not get the footage of it so that it can be proven that, Bigfoot does exist. Well, Mark, I hope my thoughts covered everything. Thanks again for doing that video. And please, everybody, go check out Chatting with Mark Stise's channel. He's an awesome guy. He does fantastic work on his videos. You won't regret it. My name is Casper T, y'all, and have a good night, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.